Hey everybody, it's Zero Jump Shot, or Josh, here with just a little bit of a note before we get into the podcast today. I just want to say thank you for watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, whatever you're doing. We both really appreciate it so much. But I just want to let you know, so we do have a question that we offer at the end of the video, just in case you don't get to it. We do want people to ask us questions in regards to sports or anything that you can think of that you want us to talk about on the podcast. So if you got any questions for us or anything you want us to talk about, post it in the comments on SoundCloud and on our Facebook page. It's going to be, you can put them on either one. Probably the easiest to put it on the Facebook page, but if you don't have Facebook, go on the SoundCloud one and drop a comment in there, and we'll take a look at them. Or on the YouTube channel. I do have the podcast posted on my YouTube channel, Zero Jump Shot, as well. So if you want to go ahead and take a look, and if you got any questions for us based on the week of the sports or anything that can happen in the future, let us know, and we'll try to get to it, and we'll try to answer your questions. But we would really like some fan participation for this. So if you guys could do that, that would be great. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to 3 Sport Podcast. Today I am joined again by Austin. How's it going, dude?
Hey Josh, not too bad. A lot of stuff to talk about today.
Lots of stuff. We missed the day. Unfortunately, we could not be recording yesterday due to some scheduling conflicts that I had, but it's okay because there was a football game yesterday. However, we're not going to talk about that game because neither of us watched it, and it's not really important. So,
One big thing to say about that game is the Ravens finally got another win.
That is true. And Des Bryant's weird COVID test. So yeah, let's just grab a guy from warm-ups and just test him for COVID, and he gets COVID, and then all of a sudden he's just dumb.
So was it that his first test they said came back inconclusive, or
I'm honestly not sure, but it was like to the point to where he literally could not play. I'm guessing the reason that he got tested is because I'm seeing in here that he was talking to people from the Cowboys without a mask on. And I guess I don't know. But Des Bryant literally said he's like, I don't want to play in this league if this is going to be like this. Essentially, he said something like that. But
yeah, he basically saying that he's calling it quits for the season.
yeah,
I pretty much think his career is going to be over. If that's the attitude he's going to have, just in my opinion, you might as well call it a career.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad for the guy though, because that's stupid. Because this was a big game for him, and they had to test him for this game. I feel like if he would have played in this game, like him finally connecting with Lamar Jackson, a lot of the guys from Baltimore coming back now, I feel like it would have been a pretty decent game for him.
I realized we just said we weren't going to talk about the game, but obviously, we are talking about it, and the Ravens running game looked pretty decent yesterday, though. I mean, you had Gus Edwards put up over 100, Lamar Jackson with 94, J.K. Dobbins with 71. So they had 294 rushing yards as a team, averaged almost 8 yards a carry. But the thing is Lamar Jackson's passing hasn't been the same this year. Not putting up anywhere near as good as MVP, like the numbers he put up as an MVP last year. I don't see them going deep in the playoffs like I thought they would have last year. I mean, they are 7-5. They're a lot better team than 7-5 record, though.
Yeah, for sure. So I know with the big amount of things that happen in week 13 for the NFL. I'm going to start it off. I want to talk about the Dolphins-Bengals game. There's a lot to break down here. I want to start off by saying that Mike Thomas is a piece of crap. That dude does not belong to be on a football field. He belongs in a lifetime penalty box or on a bench for the rest of his career. You don't run full speed on a punt return and hit a defenseless player twice in the same game. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand how he didn't get ejected for it. I saw people saying that it wasn't a defenseless player, that it was a clean hit. No, it was not. Jakeem Grant did not have the ball either time he got hit. So it's just really dumb. And the second time he got hit, that's when Brian Flores came on the field and was, chatting it up with the Cincinnati guys, and some of the other people were getting his back, like Devontae Parker and Mac Hollins, who later got ejected. But it's like, 3 ejections in that game. 2 of the biggest names on the team is Xavier Howard gone, Devontae Parker gone. Good thing Devontae was gone in the fourth quarter and not like Xavier Howard gone in like the first or the second quarter.
At least Xavier Howard got the pick.
Yeah, he did. He did get that pick, but it's just like, I don't understand how somebody like Mike Thomas can just get away with doing something like that. And it's annoying because if you watch the clip, it's obviously one of the worst possible scenarios for somebody like Jakeem Grant on a punt return. It's like, dude got nowhere. Like, he couldn't do anything because instantly, boom, tackled. It's like, what are you supposed to do with that? You can't do anything.
Now, I didn't really see the video at all, but did Brian Flores, did he really go out on the field? And
yeah, he was. I don't know if he I don't remember if he talked with any of the Bengals guys, but I know he went out on the field to try and defend Jakeem Grant, and everybody was really proud of that because it's like, this is what people should be doing, like coaches, players, defending your team. Like with Andy Dalton's situation when he got his head leveled off, I forgot who they played in that game, but no one did anything. No one stepped up. No one tried to do anything. But then a few years ago when the Ravens played Joe Flacco, Kiko Alonso lit him up when he slid on the ground, and the entire Baltimore Ravens team was after Kiko Alonso. Harbaugh started jawing at Kiko Alonso in that game, and it's like, that's what you got to do. You got to protect the team. It's the way it is.
At least you guys are still in the playoff hunt, though. That's the biggest.
Yeah. Well, and other than that, there's a lot of good that came out of that game, like Kyle Van Noy winning Defensive Player of the Week for the AFC. Absolute stud. Dude had 3 sacks, 8 tackles. Was absolutely granted it's Brandon Allen and Ryan Finley, but still, dude had a good game. Mike Gesicki had a really nice one-handed grab. Then he ended up catching a touchdown, which was his only touchdown. And Myles Gaskin had 90 on the ground with 21 carries, so not the best rushing stats, but other than Lynn Bowden's 11-yard carry, it's like there's not really a whole lot that they can do there. But when you got a team that only got 1 receiving touchdown, and that was on 1 72-yard pass, and the guy that caught that had 3 other targets in this game and didn't catch any other passes, I think that's a good sign. That just shows that you have defense that's out there, they're willing to play, they know what's at stake, because that was in the first quarter, and then Dolphins just lit up from there. So, it is what it is.
Big game for them this coming Sunday, though.
Yeah, them against the Chiefs. Like I said, like I was talking before, the Broncos managed to hold Patrick Mahomes this week, and I don't know. I don't really think the Broncos defense is that great for pass defense, anyways. Because I know they've got obviously Kareem Jackson and Justin Simmons. AJ Boye played some absolute lockdown cornerback on Sunday, though. I got to give him a lot of credit. That was a phenomenal game from him.
He's gone. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
He got suspended.
Really? Well, hey, doesn't matter for right now because now the Dolphins got to have a lockdown corner like that against Patrick Mahomes and his team.
Yeah, he got suspended today, 6 games for PEDs.
Oh, geez. Well, maybe that's why he was so good.
Yeah, he'll miss the remainder of this season and the beginning part of next year.
Unreal. But, yeah, Kansas City did not look too hot. I think Edwards-Helaire might be hurt because he didn't play at all.
He was active, but he didn't. Did he? I don't think he played at all.
No, he didn't. He didn't take a single snap. It was all Le'Veon Bell and Darrell Williams. They only had 3 active running backs counting Clyde, but Clyde didn't actually play.
And it doesn't help when you can't cover Travis Kelce. So
no. They covered Tyreek Hill though. Tyreek only had 58 yards this week. As a 203 touchdowns, whatever that was he had a couple weeks ago or the week before.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we're not here to talk with the Broncos, but if the Broncos can do this and only let them put up 22, although, however, again, they only put up 22 because they had defensive help. They had 2 interceptions from Tyrann Mathieu. Harrison Butker put up 16 points. So, yeah, your kicker basically carried you. So that was essentially what happened there. As long as they can get them out of field goal range and try to keep Tyreek Hill to a minimum, that's really
That's still
all they
way
got to
too
do.
close. That's still way too close of a game though against
Yeah,
like
against
Drew Lock.
Denver,
Drew
Drew
Lock.
Lock played like crap.
He is not a good quarterback. I mean, I'll take that back. He's not a bad quarterback.
But he's not like an elite quarterback.
He's in that sophomore slump.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's what, second in the entire league right now in terms of interceptions, and he's got more interceptions than he does touchdown passes. So
Sounds about right. Someone else who has a lot of interceptions?
you talking about the guy that is leading the league in interceptions?
The guy who just got benched, Carson Wentz, everyone's favorite quarterback. There's talks that he might go to the Colts next year. Everyone's against that. Hopefully he doesn't. It's poor Colts. They don't need that contract in their books. But when it comes to this Eagles team, you got to feel bad for guys like Travis Fulgham and Alshon Jeffrey. Travis Fulgham had a nice stretch there for a while where he was absolutely lighting it up with Carson Wentz as his quarterback. Not sure how, but
well, watching the game on Sunday, it obviously Philadelphia. I mean, they weren't moving the ball with Carson Wentz in. I mean, once they made the switch and they gave it over to Jalen Hurts, they were actually moving the ball quite well. But you got to look how many times did he get sacked that game? 4 or 5 times.
And Jalen Hurts got sacked 3 times.
So that line, obviously, there's a reason why Carson Wentz has been sacked.
Well, they don't have Brandon Brooks or Lane Johnson, so their whole right side is backup. So that's really tough for them. Their right guard and right tackle, they're both out. So it's like you got Jason Peters on the left side, who, if he's healthy, he's good.
They moved him to right guard right now, though, didn't they?
Oh, they might have moved him, but they've got him, and then they have Jason Kelce. Again, if he's healthy, he's good. And then I don't know who their other offensive lineman is, but it's like without Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson, 2 of your biggest guys, it's like you're going to struggle. That's just bound to happen. And hence why Miles Sanders also hasn't really had much of a ground game recently either.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody's got to. They can focus in on the ground game. I mean, that Green Bay's run defense, that didn't look terrible.
No, I mean, they gave up some interesting runs to Jordan Howard, who I didn't know was on the Eagles until that game. But it's like the most they gave up was 31 yards to Miles Sanders. That's it. If you you give up 117 yards rushing for a team, and they ran the ball 6 different people, it's pretty impressive. And you put up 130 with one guy.
Yeah. And for that Packers defense to register 7 sacks, I mean, obviously watching most of the games, their pass rush this season hasn't been the greatest. I understand Zadarius is 3rd in terms of total, like in sacks this year in the entire NFL. He's the only guy that's really been getting any sort of pressure this year. So for us, the whole team to have a 7-sack game is very nice to see. As well as, on the offensive side, Mr. Rodgers with his 400th career touchdown pass to Devontae Adams. That was very nice to see.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
That was the swing pass, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. It was something
that was the
left-hand side.
He went to him like 3 times in a row, trying to get him it looked like he wanted Devontae to catch 400. And it was very nice what Devontae did after, taking the knee and presenting him with the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. It's it's games like this that make you wonder, like, hey, is Doug Peterson staying in as coach, or like what's going on?
I don't think you can pull the trigger on that one yet, because it's been what? This is the 3rd season since they've won the Super Bowl, 3rd, 4th.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 3-8, 3-8-1, but yet again they're still alive in their division. So there's still a possibility for them to make the playoffs. I mean, that chance is getting slimmer and slimmer right now, especially with the Giants and the Washington football team both on winning streaks here. But I mean, their season's not technically over yet, which is why I think they made the change yesterday when Doug Peterson announced that Jalen Hurts is going to continue to be the starting quarterback instead of Carson Wentz. So, I mean, it's about time. I mean, we talked about it, on the second episode, how the change needed to come. And of course, it came against the Packers, and now it's going to stick.
Yep. That's how it's been really this year. It's been a weird year for the NFL. Throughout every single team. You start off the year MVP race. What was it? Rodgers, Wilson, Wilson,
Well, it was
Rodgers,
basically
Mahomes.
it was Wilson's to lose, and now he's not even part of the conversation anymore.
It's crazy. He was like on top, like not going to be stopped, and now here he is losing to the New York football team Giants. It's like weird.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like everybody was putting Kyler Murray in the race for a little while, and back-to-back down weeks for him, and now he's basically out of it.
Well, I'll get to that later. But like the thing with Kyler Murray is, he can't run right now. That shoulder injury, it's like he's not. They're telling him not to run the ball. So that's like telling Josh Allen he can't throw a deep pass. It's like, okay, so you're gonna take someone's best weapon away,
right?
Like, no, you can't. It's not gonna. You're not gonna be as productive without your best weapon.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, not really much to talk about this Giants Seahawks game either. I mean, it was what it was. I mean, it was Colt McCoy, the old rusty trusty backup, playing against probable beginning of the year MVP Russell Wilson, who almost looks like he should be playing for the New York Yankees right now rather than playing for the Seahawks. I'm sure a lot of people would rather have that than the current situation, but you never know.
Big credit to Wayne Gallman, though. He showed up. He's been playing really well this season. I mean, he went off for 16 carries and 135 yards.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Wayne Gallman. Dude had a great game.
Yeah, he 94 yards against the Bengals, and then he comes back with 135 against the Seahawks. And now I understand Seattle's defense has been quite suspect this year.
Yes.
But that had been in the passing game, not really the running game. So, I mean, they held Colt McCoy for 105 yards total.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Wayne Gallman keeps having games like that. They're going to give, Washington, that's going to be a nice race down the stretch.
Well, it's funny, too, because it's like you look at the Giants scoring. They had 2 offensive touchdowns, and it was Alfred Morris, both of them. It's like Alfred Morris, dude, hasn't been relevant since he played for the Washington football team. It's like,
right.
It's weird. But that's literally this season. It's a lot of different guys stepping up to the plate to do stuff for their team.
Exactly.
Big example of that, because this is a game I really wanted to talk about. New England Patriots. Dude, Gunnar Olszewski has to be one of the most underrated elite, like, not like elite, like, throw him in with like conversation of like Julio Jones, like Mike Evans, like, no, but like he's an underrated elite, which is what I like to consider someone who I'd classify with like for wide receiver, I guess someone like I don't know, maybe like Sims from Washington. Like they're good, but they're not great. They have a reason why they're good. Like Gunnar Olszewski, dude had a 1 receiving touchdown, great, love to see it. And then he also goes out and he gets a punt return touchdown. Dude had 145 yards of punt returns. It's like, if you're able to do that, if you're able to be that special teams guy and also be that guy on offense where you can score touchdowns, you can't get rid of that. Like, that is like Devin Hester type of work. Like, that's something that's not usually like very seen.
And I honestly, I hadn't even known who he was until that game. I mean,
like, I knew who he was, but I never expected him to make that big of a difference for the team.
Yeah, and just think, in the last 5 games for the Patriots, they're 4-1.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't look now, but the Patriots are back to being they're 6-6, so they're back to 500.
Well, that's what's really unfortunate is, me being a Dolphins fan, them being in the same division. It's like, well, at Chargers, you could have at least put up a fight, but no. When you got your coach telling you, hey, we're not gonna play, sit down and just relax, just take a chill pill. Nah, like, you're not gonna play if your coach is basically saying, we're not in it anymore. Just don't even try. Like, come on. Like, you're a coach in the NFL. You know what your job is, and it's not to lay on your back and let people walk all over you. That's not what you got to do here. And it's kind of sad that that's the route that Anthony Lynn took. But I mean, hey, he can go sit at home if that's what he wants to do. You don't have to sit. You don't.
There's a big rumor that his job is after that game is.
Oh, it should be on the line.
Very, very much on the line now.
Should be.
Justin Herbert didn't look good that game. I mean, he was under 50% completion percentage for the entire game with 2 picks. So, and he had a quarterback, like a QBR rating of 8.8. That is awful.
Yeah. Well, and that game it made no sense. Jared Stidham came in for, I don't even know how many snaps he actually took, but he went 2 for 3 with 61 yards and a touchdown. Cam Newton played the majority of the game and was 12 for 19 with 69 yards and a touchdown. Like, I don't know if at this point, literally, Anthony Lynn just said, hey, just stop playing, or like, Jared Stidham is actually this good. But I know he's not, because he's played earlier this year and he's played like awfully. So
you know how irritating it was, because like this week it was me and my buddy Tyrell. We're going for the number 1 seed in our fantasy football league, and I have Justin Herbert as my quarterback, and I also have Keenan Allen. And to see the Patriots having the ball every time and giving the ball back to the Patriots, and Justin Herbert can't move the ball. I ended up losing.
Too bad you didn't have Cam Newton
going into the playoffs as the number 2 seed this coming week. But
however, Cam Newton had a big week for fantasy: 48 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 69 passing yards, and a touchdown. Only got sacked once, didn't throw a pick. So for playing PPR, negative scoring league or whatever, it was a great week for you for Cam Newton. That's for sure. Didn't have one of those for a while. If you played Cam Newton in one of those leagues, big props to you. I wouldn't have.
Not me.
But yeah, there's a lot, like, with the NFL season this year, like week 13, I should say specifically. There's really been the majority of this we got kind of on lock. There's the one thing we're saving that for the end, and I think you know what I want to say for the end. But we've already mentioned the Packers, we've mentioned the Dolphins, so that's our 2 things.
We're talking about. There's one thing I think we can talk about real quick before.
What's up?
So we talked about Philadelphia, and you had mentioned should Doug Peterson be worried about his job? We talked about the Chargers, and should Anthony Lynn be? I mean, obviously Anthony Lynn should be worried about his job. There's 2 other teams. Obviously, one of them should have fired their coach long time ago.
Week 1 of the season.
Yep. Should have never hired him in the first place.
Shouldn't be in the NFL.
I don't understand how the Jets lose that game. I mean, when you go for like an all-out like blitz.
Well, they essentially lost just because of Greg Williams' stupid play call. Because they played a great game. Like, Ty Johnson was on the ground. That dude was amazing. Like, Frank Gore got out in the first quarter. Ty Johnson really stepped up. Josh Adams stepped up. I think it was Jamison Crowder had a really good game this week. I think this is his 2 touchdown week. Yep.
But I mean, their defense, they could not cover Darren Waller to save their life.
Darren Waller had a great game. Yards. Other than Darren Waller, that last touchdown to Henry Ruggs was probably, I'm guessing, because it said his long was 46, so I'm guessing that was his 46-yard touchdown.
Yep.
So if they would have not ran that play, if they would have ran, I don't know, like an actual play to like cover that,
Yep.
play that the Jets were running, my goodness, I couldn't spit that out. Then they would have probably actually won. Instead of going 0-12, they'd probably be 1-11. But no,
But
the
of course,
Raiders are
they
now
found a way to
7-5
lose.
because of that.
They found a way to lose.
That's just the Jets, dude. They play great. Ty Johnson probably took his head and smashed it into a brick wall after that game because he played amazing, and the rest of the team just let him down because of Greg Williams. Oh, and that
Did you hear
defense.
what Marcus May said after his press conference?
Oh, I can only imagine. I didn't hear it, but I can only imagine.
He was basically saying that, Greg Williams, they obviously needed to execute to play, but the coach needs, to help them.
Yeah. Well, what are they supposed to do when you're calling a play like that on a pass that should have been blocked or that should have been covered?
Imagine being in that huddle or hearing what the play call is.
Unreal.
And then it's just, oh, you want to do an all-out blitz right here? You should have been in prevent defense.
Yeah, 100% prevent defense. Yep.
The one time I like going to prevent defense, I hate
on a Hail Mary. Why are you running an all-out blitz on a Hail Mary play? What are you doing?
I think that was just their way of being able to stay winless in the year to make sure Trevor Lawrence comes there.
I think that's either that or Greg Williams would have said, all right, this is my ticket out of New York. I'm going to go call a bad play. See you later. I'm going to go play somewhere. I'm going to go coach somewhere else, or I'm going to go sit at home, kick my feet back, and drink some beer or whatever he does. I don't know. But,
did you know it was actually Adam Gase's decision, though, to fire Greg Williams?
Oh, I'm sure it was, but Adam Gase doesn't really deserve to be getting that choice. But, me being a Dolphins fan, obviously, I know how bad of a coach he is.
Can we talk about the other coach that should be that seat is getting warmer and warmer right now by the week?
There's actually quite a few. But
there's one team that I was told today not to talk about, but I don't care because.
Oh, you really think Matt Nagy's coaching spot's on the line?
It should be.
I don't think so.
It should.
I don't put it on Matt Nagy. I put it on the GM. The guy that built this team, he did a terrible job. No. You're doomed from the start.
Yes, he did a terrible job. But how do you blow that lead?
Mitch Trubisky.
It's
okay. Actually, Mitch Trubisky didn't play that bad of a game. I shouldn't say that. Actually,
lost like that. That is heartbreaking as a football fan. I mean, I like seeing a win like that because Darrell Bevell. Congratulations, you head coaching for the first time. You go out there and get a win against a rival team. But come on, Chicago.
Yeah. Well, and
you had that game won.
I find it funny because it's with Detroit, it's all the guys that you weren't expecting to go off went off. And of course, who is it against? The Bears, out of everyone possible. Marvin Jones. Haven't seen him all year.
Adrian Peterson.
AP, another 2-touchdown game, back-to-back weeks. Round of applause for that guy.
Cephas with that amazing touchdown catch.
Dude, you know what I realized? I was looking at something. I was following on with the games this Sunday.
Mm.
There were 3 separate Wisconsin players who scored. Because it was Cephas, Jonathan Taylor, and I want to say I don't think anyone from the I don't think Van Ginkel did anything on the Dolphins defensive side. No, I can't remember who it was. I know there was someone else though. Or I might be wrong.
Badger that scored?
Yeah, it was a big week for the Badgers. I thought I saw someone that used to play for the Badgers that had a score in a game. I know it wasn't Alec Ingold. Maybe it was just the 2.
It was him.
Maybe it was just the 2, but it's I was wow. No, there had to be another one. I know there was another one. I can't remember who it was because I know I was gonna make a TikTok about it because I'm a nerd and that's what I was gonna do. But man, I cannot for the life of me remember who it was, and now it's gonna bother me and it shouldn't because it's not relevant.
Yeah, because now you got me wondering what happened.
Because it wasn't James White, and it wasn't Melvin Gordon, and it wasn't Troy Fumagalli.
who actually got some playing time, surprisingly.
Well, I think he was hurt for like ever. So I think that might be why.
Yeah, I don't know who you were thinking of.
Oh, Dan Arnold. He's not Wisconsin, but he's Platteville. So essentially 3 Wisconsin related college people had big games this week. Cephas and Jonathan Taylor, 2 former Badgers, and Dan Arnold, former UW Platteville tight end, 2 touchdown game against the Rams.
You want to know what sucks?
What's that?
I benched Jonathan Taylor this week too, and because I didn't know how, like, if he
was
going to.
I'm sure a lot of people did because you don't know how that's going to turn out.
And I started Antonio Gibson, who ended up getting hurt right away in the first quarter, and then.
Oh no, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, I figured it out. I know who the third one was.
Who?
Joe Schobert. He had a defensive touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that. That's right. I knew it.
Yeah, I saw Sam Decker tweeting about that.
That's right. It was Schobert, Taylor, and Cephas. So it was a pretty interesting week for Wisconsin Badgers in the NFL. Dari Ogunbowale also got some playing time at running back. Take what we can get.
Right.
Let's see how we're
always nice when former Badgers are producing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really much you can like about the college team right now, but the actual Badger team. But
no, Wisconsin's kind of slowly going downhill as a state when it comes to sports. But we'll get to that later. But for right now, I want to bring up this interesting game within Mr. Baker Mayfield's 4 touchdown, 300-yard passing game. Dude was incredible. Really wish Kareem Hunt would get the ball more for my fantasy team's sake, but I guess, it is what it is. Baker Mayfield was so lights out that he threw a touchdown to a lineman. Kendall Lamb is a 6'5", 310-pound offensive tackle. So shout out Kendall Lamb for your first ever receiving touchdown. But I mean, and not even just Baker. I mean, their defense was fine. They had 3 sacks. They had an interception. Cody Parkey scored 11 other points. Shout out Cody Parkey. He had 2 field goals. Whatever. Titans couldn't even get a field goal. That's tough. I mean, they scored 35, but
I just don't understand how Tennessee comes out after what they did last week to Indy, and then they went the week before that they beat. They came back and beat Baltimore.
Well,
and then they laid an egg so bad like this in the first half.
What it boils down to is no offense leads to no defense. Derrick Henry only getting 60 yards, no touchdowns. Tough. Like that. That's not good. You need a lot more production from your star running back than that.
He had a fumble early in the game too.
Yes, he did, and he lost it. Yep. AJ Brown had 2 fumbles. Batson had a fumble.
Great game. So
Michael Pruitt had a fumble recovery for a touchdown that counted as a. Or no, it wasn't a touchdown. He had a fumble recovery, and then he got a touchdown. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's all weird stuff. Shout out to Baker Mayfield though. Absolutely great game. Can only imagine what it would have been like if Odell was out there, but it is what it is.
We're going to be talking about another game pretty soon. I guess we can end up segueing into that. But
yeah, we're going to that right now.
The Cleveland Week 17 hosting Pittsburgh that game could literally come down to the division title and Cleveland actually winning the AFC North.
But what's interesting comparing the Washington football team game to Cleveland?
What's that?
Cleveland doesn't have the GOAT Alex Smith. I don't know.
Back player of the year.
Dude, I don't know if you saw, but I saw a clip today. Alex Smith made a really, really good play before halftime. He got sacked, and then when he got sacked, he ran off the field with the ball.
Yep.
So no ball being on the field means that there's no K-ball for the kicker to kick a field goal with. So for them to get more time to get adjusted and stuff, so he carried the ball off the field, which in turn would stop the clock so that they can get a K-ball place for the kicker to kick the field goal.
Yep.
So dude ran off the field with the ball. They had to stop the clock, bring the K-ball out, set that up. Hopkins goes, kicks field goal, get their first 3 points. And then after that, they just came out torching. Logan Thomas, absolute great game.
Yeah, career game for him.
Yep.
That defensive front is so good.
Yeah.
That is a scare. That those guys are young, and just think in a couple years that defense can end up being real scary.
Well, and I mean, other than they're young, they've got some old.
Yep,
well,
that's true.
Ryan Kerrigan essentially is their only really old, I guess. But, like, dude, I saw Ryan Kerrigan. He almost had a sack on Big Ben, but Big Ben got sacked 0 times. And he got sacked 0 times because Big Ben, as big as he is and old as he is, can somehow still evade sacks like an absolute monster. And it makes no sense to me. But, I mean, you do you, Big Ben. But, yeah. Crazy stuff.
In this game, obviously, I'm looking at the stats right here. It was hard to run that game because I got to watch most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, with Antonio Gibson getting hurt with turf toe.
Right away. I didn't even know that happened. Interesting.
Yeah, he left the game right away. So Peyton Barber became the main back.
Well, Peyton Barber's their power back, so yeah, that was probably a little bit interesting.
So he had 14 carries for 23. J.D. McKissick, he had a good receiving game, 10 catches for 70 yards. But then the Steelers, they didn't really do anything. Anthony McFarland led them in 15 yards, 4 carries for 15 yards. And then Benny Snell had 8 carries for 5. So as a team, they had 21 yards on 14 carries. So when you have to rely on passing the ball 53 times, and you have no run game, you see it a lot of times, you're not going to win a football game that way.
Well, and I almost wonder. So with Gibson getting turf toe, does he get sidelined now?
He's doubtful to play this coming week.
Do they go and grab the absolute snag of a running back they have in Bryce Young and see if he can make something happen? Or I wonder what's going to happen there. That's pretty interesting.
I don't know. I feel like they're probably going to rock Peyton Barber still.
Oh, wait, Bryce Young's still in the IR.
We're going to see a lot of J.D. McKissick still.
Never mind. I forgot. Sorry, I forgot Bryce Young's still in the IR. Or Bryce Love still in the IR. That's my bad. So they got Peyton Barber, McKissick, and Javon Leak. Don't know who that is, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously Pittsburgh, 11-0 team.
You got the memes with Pittsburgh. They lost to a team with no name. So,
well, team might have no name, but they got comeback player of the year Alex Smith in their team. So what more do you need?
And Pittsburgh's schedule doesn't. Their 3 of their last 4 games are all tough ones. They got they go to Buffalo this Sunday night to play the Bills. They got a should win easy game against Cincinnati, and then they ended up against Indy, and then week 17, possibly for the division against Cleveland.
Oh man, New England already plays again tomorrow. Oh wow, that's gonna be interesting. They play the Rams. Hey,
just think, a win right there, and Miami could be on the outside looking in if New England keeps winning and Miami has a couple bad games here.
Yeah, well, I don't think New England's going to win against the Rams. That's very doubtful.
Yeah, the Rams are looking good right now. They're sit atop the NFC.
Yeah, the Rams are. Dude, I hated on Jared Goff coming into the season, but Jared Goff honestly is not that bad. And now that you look at who else was in that draft class, our good friend Carson Wentz, it's oh, that's tough because Carson Wentz is terrible.
Well, they have 2 of the best guys at their positions. Obviously,
Cooper Kupp
everybody knows
amazing.
I'm talking on the defensive side.
Oh,
you have obviously everybody knows how good Aaron Donald is.
Oh yeah,
but Jalen Ramsey has been, there's a reason why he got paid the big bucks.
Well, and you can't even sleep on Leonard Floyd and Michael Brockers either. I mean, they got depth. They have quite a good defense. I mean, their offensive line as well. I mean, Andrew Whitworth being on IR, that's a little bit bad for them. But David Edwards is a nice guard. Havenstein's a good right tackle. And I mean, their wide receivers, as much as it may seem, pretty average along the bend. Cooper Kupp, he's not like an all-star, big producing wide receiver this year, but he does what he's got to do. Same with Robert Woods. Same with Josh Reynolds, honestly. Like, he gets the ball, he'll make something happen.
Yeah.
Van Jefferson, not really done a whole lot. And then Tyler Higbee, great tight end. Same with Gerald Everett. I mean, those dudes also produce when they got to produce. It's,
and
you can only do what you got to do.
Forget about the head coach. So
Sean McVay, absolutely. 100% beast.
Yeah.
Well-rounded brain. So let's see. What else do we have? I think we're honestly pretty much done when it comes. Yeah, in terms of the NFL, I think we're done.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really feel like talking much more about this week for the NFL because there's something I want to focus on, and that's I want to talk about NBA. I want to talk about the Bucks. We got to talk about Giannis. So as we've been talking, I've been looking at a lot of articles and Twitter posts, and I've been seeing stuff about Giannis talking about leaving. So here's the thing. I understand what he said can be seen as like, he's leaving. He's not staying in Milwaukee. But then again, you got to think about it this way. This is a guy who came in from Greece, drafted 15th overall, whatever, in 2013, and was not meant to be anything. Progressed throughout the years, got better. Absolutely great inside guy. Kind of getting a mid-range shot developed, not too much, but he's got some people with him now. He's got some stuff he's got to work on. I mean, granted, he was 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year this year, but he even said it himself. He's like, he said he's putting faith in his agent and the team's front office to reach a contract extension. So what Giannis is saying here, like, because what I'm reading, Giannis is basically saying, yo, I don't care about the money. That's not what matters to me. He said that I want to focus on myself, and he wants to help his teammates get better. And he basically, I feel like he wants to be with the Bucks, but I think when it comes to like terms of money and stuff, he doesn't want to talk about that publicly, and he doesn't want people to speculate like what the terms of money are going to be, because I mean, obviously, sure, he wants money, but when it comes to somebody like Giannis and like what I'm reading here, like Giannis doesn't seem like the type of guy that's just going to go and turn around and say, nah, dude, Milwaukee, everything you've done for me, like, it's like, like, it's crazy. He said, I love the city of Milwaukee, love the organization, love my family to death, love winning, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be in this situation if I wasn't working hard, I wasn't winning games, I wasn't improving every day, and I didn't have this mentality. So I cannot change who I am, cannot change the mentality. I'm going to focus on improving day by day. Everything's going to take care of itself. You guys probably are going to know what's going on before I do. That's what usually happens. You guys know more than me. So essentially, this is basically is like Giannis doesn't know what's even happening with what the terms of the contract, because he's not focused on the contract in itself. It's not like him saying, oh, I'm not signing the Supermax because I don't want to play for the Bucks anymore. I don't want to be here. I want to win. I want to get all this money. I want to go play with the Heat because they won. I want to go play with the Raptors because they won in finals. No, he's not saying any of that. He's basically just saying what's most important to him right now is focusing on himself, focusing on the game of basketball, working with his teammates, and just being a Milwaukee Buck while he can. Like, he's not worried about the contract. He's like he said, he's gonna let it slide. It's gonna work itself out.
12 days. December 21st, he has to sign that max contract. And if December 21st comes and goes and that contract is not signed, this is what's going to happen. Ready?
No,
I
don't think so. I really don't. I don't think he's gonna leave. It doesn't sound like he's intending on leaving. It just really doesn't sound like it. I mean, he's literally leaving the contract into terms of John Horst and his agent. Like, he's not.
You have to remember. Giannis has to sign the contract. His agent,
right? I understand that, but the reason that Giannis is not talking about being focused on signing the contract is because he doesn't even know the terms of the contract, so he can't be focused on signing something he doesn't know. Like, sure, he can say, "Oh, I'm going to sign the contract."
He knows the contract. He knows it's a super.
No, because there's going to be different little things in with it. Sure, it's a 5-year supermax, whatever, 228 million. But you got to factor in incentives. You got to factor in, like, hey, are we going to get certain people on the team? Do I want to have Coach Bud here? Do we want Coach Bud gone? Because essentially, this is John Horst and Giannis. This isn't Giannis and Coach Bud. This isn't Giannis and Chris Middleton. This isn't Giannis and Pat Connaughton, Giannis and Drew Holiday. It's Giannis and John Horst and Alex Serratis, his agent. So it's, they have to all talk together and they have to figure out what's best. And if what's best for Giannis is for him to leave, well, then he's a scumbag and he doesn't deserve to be on the Bucks. But if what's best for Giannis is to stay and be a true team player, great, love it. But we're not going to know anything until the 21st of December. I'm not even going to put any sort of speculation to point right now because none of it's relevant. Unless what it is saying is that he is signing the Supermax. Because he's not going to decline to sign a Supermax. Because I don't even think you can do that. But
what will run through your head on December 21st if that day comes and passes and that Supermax contract is not signed?
We'll see how he plays during the season.
Do you think there's a small chance that if the team isn't up to where he wants, he's gone?
I mean, I think
he's not a restricted free agent.
Right.
If he ends up getting into free agency, and any team can go out there and get him, and we can lose him for nothing.
Yep.
So,
but he's not going to take
a lot of speculation around trade deadline or up until the trade deadline if he doesn't sign the contract of the Bucks moving him, because you don't want to let a guy like Giannis go for nothing.
No, I don't see
the reason why. Look at what the Pelicans did with Anthony Davis, because they knew he wasn't going to be coming back. That's going to start getting to the minds of the front office of Milwaukee, because you don't want to lose a piece like this, a superstar generational talent, for nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we haven't had enough of Giannis yet. I mean, all I want is for him to sign the Supermax. If he signs the 5-year Supermax, if we get 5 more years of him, that's fine. That's all I want. He can go wherever he wants after that, and I don't care.
I will.
But if he doesn't sign the Supermax, if he doesn't stay here for another 5 years, if he goes somewhere else, I'm not gonna have any sort of respect for him at all. It's gonna be gone, because it's irritating, because being a Bucks fan, living in Wisconsin my whole life, it's like this team has always sucked, and now it's finally starting to get better, and it's only getting better because of Giannis. So if Giannis leaves, sure, that's going to free up a bunch of cap, but Wisconsin general managers for sports teams do not know how to use their market and sign free agents. They never sign stars. They always sign mediocre guys, and then maybe get lucky in a draft and have someone develop into someone good. However, the Brewers traded for Christian Yelich, who ended up becoming good. That was nice. But again, he wasn't a star player when they got him. He developed into a star player, because that's what the Wisconsin sports teams do. They develop star players, then their teams suck because the GMs don't sign people around them because they suck. And people in Wisconsin hate sports because they suck, and it's annoying. It's like with the Brewers, like Christian Yelich is out there playing with guys that are either like rookie ball guys or guys from the KBO that don't know how to play in the MLB. Aaron Rodgers, for the longest time, he's not having wide receiver help. Like, sure, some of these guys, some of these guys are starting to step up, but it's all Devontae Adams. I mean, sometimes EQ gets in there, but then you go and draft Jordan Love, a quarterback, over a wide receiver like Justin Jefferson or even Chase Claypool. Literally anyone that was in the draft this year, you draft a backup quarterback. It's like, I'm telling you, Wisconsin sports are cursed, and they always will be, and it's so annoying. So December 21st comes around. Does Giannis sign the Supermax? No freaking clue. Will he sign? If he signs the Supermax, am I going to be happy? Absolutely. If he doesn't sign it on the 21st, am I going to be worried? No. And the reason I'm not going to be worried is because anything can happen. Like, he still can sign the same exact Supermax at the Bucks in the offseason. And, you know, if he so decides to do that, if he decides to not sign it because he wants to ride it out and see how it goes, let him do it. You know, that's what it is. But I don't know. It really depends. I mean, if he goes and tries to build a super team somewhere, like he goes to the Lakers or goes to the Heat or something, I'm just not gonna even have any respect for him because it's just stupid.
I think if that happens, you know, it's going to get back into the point where people are going to talk about him and whatever like big three team he ends up going to.
Yeah, it's gonna be just like the Warriors.
As the Golden State Warriors, and you know, a lot of people were talking about how KD's rings are like he got them because of the Warriors, and obviously KD is one of the greatest players to ever play in the game. So that is simply not the case. I mean, KD earned those rings, but the like not even fans. I wouldn't even really call those people fans of basketball. Or they're just gonna nitpick and say that Giannis's rings are tarnished to a point. If he ends up obviously leaving and winning rings with a superstar team that he would go to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, you know, all the guys in Milwaukee, they want Giannis to stay there. So it's known they want him there, but you know, you can only do so much. Looking at this Bucks roster, looking at the starting depth chart, they have it laid out in this order from top to bottom, respectively. Point guard Drew Holiday, shooting guard Dante DiVincenzo, small forward Chris Middleton, power forward Giannis, and center Brook Lopez. Now,
see, as much as I'm surprised, as much as I love Dante DiVincenzo, obviously you know that, I am very, very surprised that they're predicting him to be the starting shooting guard. I mean, they don't really have anybody
the
else.
only other option is to start Chris Middleton as shooting guard and put Torrey Craig at the small forward, but you can't start Torrey Craig because then you put the risk of him getting hurt because he's playing more minutes.
Right.
So it's...
But like for a guy to go from being traded to now he's got to work in this starting rotation. I mean, I hope that's what it ends up being because obviously I really like Dante DiVincenzo. It's just I wonder what going like with him, like what happened with him mentally during that whole time where he thought he was going to be on the Kings and now he's back with the team.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking at this roster here and I'm a little worried because if Giannis does somehow decide to leave, this is what we got. If this is what we got, then I don't know if I could be a Bucks fan because this team sucks. Without Giannis, that moves Bobby Portis into the starting power forward spot, and I want to throw up because that's gross. This bench also, like, there's a lot on it, but is it going to perform? You got DJ Augustine, you got Bryn Forbes, Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, Torrey Craig, DJ Wilson, Nick Stauskas, Jordan Nora, Jalen Adams, and Thanasis. Now, what's to say they won't go and sign someone like the Mavericks that released JJ Barea? They won't because they don't sign anybody that's named. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's hard to say what's going to happen right now because you don't know.
Can we talk about something positive though, real quick?
Sure.
NBA preseason starts this weekend.
Yeah, who do we got playing Friday?
Dallas,
Orlando, Atlanta, New York, and Detroit, Houston, Chicago, LA, and Sacramento and Portland.
Milwaukee plays on Saturday against
Dallas. Phoenix plays on Saturday as well. Oh, and I just canceled my NBA TV subscription. I might have to restart that. I didn't realize that it was coming up already.
The season?
Yeah.
Mark your calendar down for December 22nd. That's when the regular season kicks off. We have 2 games that day.
Golden State, Brooklyn, and LA.
Yep.
Oh, the Bucks' first game of the season. They play Boston. Ooh. And it's on TNT. That's going to be a very good game to watch. But it's away, so that sucks.
And then just think, game number 2, Christmas against the Warriors.
At home. That's going to be a good one.
I cannot wait for the NBA season to start. Did you get a chance to look at a lot of the city jerseys that came out?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Any ones that you really liked at all?
I'm biased, so the Bucks and the Suns, but I also did really like the Spurs.
I'm not gonna lie, I really, for some reason, like the Denver Nuggets ones. I don't know why. I just like that red and the orange and the yellow mixed like that. That looks really nice to me. I love Utah's. I like that, the gradient going up and like from the was that black to the red to the orange to the yellow. I like the Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks is pretty cool.
I hate the Lakers. The Lakers, like the throwback, going back with the throwbacks, those look really nice.
So I hate to interrupt. So I was just thinking about this. Now that I think about it, so say Giannis does decide to leave the Bucks, as long as he doesn't go to a team that is prestigious for forming a super team that's gonna make everybody hate them, I'm okay with that. Like if he goes to like the Hawks to pair up with Trae Young, love that. Let's say he goes to the Magic and he wants to play with Aaron Gordon and Vucevic, love that. Say he goes to the Wizards and wants to play with John Wall and Bradley Beal, I'm all for it. But if he goes to the freaking Rockets and plays with James Harden, heck no. If he goes to the freaking Warriors and plays with Steph Curry, absolutely not. If he goes to the Lakers and plays with LeBron and Anthony Davis, no way in hell am I going to watch an NBA game. If he goes to the Clippers and he teams up with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, nope. Like, those would be the absolute possibly worst things that could happen. If it was the Raptors, the team that beat him 2 years in a row, that would easily also make me very mad. Like, he can even go to the 76ers and play Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Go for it. Just not the Heat. Not the Heat. Definitely not the Heat. Go to the Pelicans. Play Lonzo. Play Zion.
Well, I was going to say, you better throw Zion's name in there.
Play Josh Hart. Go to the Blazers. Go to the Suns. See if you can get there with Chris Paul. I don't know. I could see that happening, actually. That's kind of funny, though. That would be cool. I'm a big Chris Paul fan, so I'd love that. But, yeah, I don't know. It's skepticism at this point. You don't know what's going to happen until it happens. So, keep all your Giannis jerseys not burnt. Don't burn them yet, because he could stay.
Don't burn them ever. So, don't burn jerseys. It's so dumb.
Yeah, actually, I should say that. Don't burn jerseys. That's really stupid.
You're burning the money that you spent. I mean, just because the guy leaves your team.
Yeah.
That jersey, who knows? That jersey could be worth something. Someday.
If you're gonna burn jerseys, you might as well just take your wallet and burn it while you're at it, because that's essentially what you just did. But yeah. So Giannis, NBA starts Friday. There's a depth chart that I did want to look at because I am a little bit curious. All right, so the Kings have Tyrese at backup point guard and shooting guard. The second string. Love that. So that means he's probably going to be 6-man, is my guess. No way they start Rashawn Holmes at center over Whiteside, right? No way.
I don't see that happening.
No way. Like, I know Rashawn Holmes is good, but nah.
I don't think you bring Hassan Whiteside back to have him ride the bench.
No shot.
No.
Well, and then they have Jabari being the fourth string small forward behind Buddy Hield. No. Like, that's not right. And Nemanja Bjelica being the second string behind Bagley? No. I'm sorry, give Jabari some respect. Frank Kaminsky, third string center. Yeah, I can see that.
I'd take Jabari back if he'd want to come back.
Oh yeah. Love that.
Any team in the that you think's gonna surprise everyone this year?
The Nets. I think they're gonna suck.
Oh, I was gonna say, are you thinking of them as in since Kevin Durant?
I think they're gonna be
like good.
Well, I want them to succeed because I really want Steve Nash to have a good first year head coaching, but I don't want them to succeed because I cannot stand Kevin Durant. But again, I want them to succeed because I like Jarrett Allen, Kyrie Irving, and DeAndre Jordan. All great guys, and Dinwiddie.
You can't stand Kevin Durant, but you like Kyrie Irving?
Dude, Kyrie Irving thinks the earth is flat. It's pretty funny if you ask me.
But you like Kyrie Irving.
I
would take Kevin Durant 100 times out of 100.
Well, you're a Warriors fan, of course. You're gonna take Kevin Durant.
I'm
also really big into point guards, and I don't like snakes, so that's also why. Durant's a bit of a.
Hey, I got my Andre Iguodala jersey sitting in the closet right now. I can pull it out if you want me to.
That's fine. Where is Andre Iguodala this year? Oh wait. Forgot the retirement home doesn't have any games this year. Just kidding. He's on the Heat.
He did not retire. I was gonna say he's still in Miami.
Oh man.
I know you saw him out there when.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that just like I saw everyone on the Celtics out there when we played the Celtics. Yeah.
Who are they going to start at center?
The Celtics?
Yeah.
Daniel Tice is my guess. That's who they got. Daniel Tice, Tristan Thompson. Taco's their fourth. Doubtful that they'll start Robert Williams at center over Taco Fall. If they do, they're nuts. Taco Fall is like Yao Ming. Dude's absolutely nuts tall.
What about another team that's got to figure out who they're going to start at center? Houston. Oh,
Houston's got what's the name? Dude, stop. This says they're starting PJ Tucker over Cousins at center. No way.
Well, the thing is, I thought they were gonna rock John Wall, James Harden, Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker at the 4,
and then Wood at the 5.
Either Christian Wood. I would start Christian Wood at the 5 over DeMarcus.
Their backup small forward is Sterling Brown. Oh my goodness, this team sucks. This team's trash.
Is that the first time you figured out that that's where still you don't remember when I was so happy that?
Oh, I know he was there, but why is he their second option? Why is Ben McLemore their third option?
Which is surprising because Ben McLemore.
And why is Gerald Green their fifth option? Come on, dude. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, this Pistons team.
Oh, they're starting.
There's no shot they start Killian Hayes at point guard over D Rose, bro.
They are.
D Rose, you got to get out of there, my guy.
They already said that they were going to be starting Killian Hayes over. I mean, Derrick Rose, like is gonna. He said he was going to embrace, like coming off the bench.
And the Heat are not the Heat. The Hornets are going to start Terry Rozier over LaMelo Ball. Excuse me.
You don't draft LaMelo Ball number 3 overall to start on the bench.
No,
that's just not happening.
Move Devontae Graham to the 2 and put LaMelo at the 1. Okay, that's what I see is going on there.
Yeah.
What team did what's his name? Nico Mannion. Where did he end up again? I thought he was on the Warriors, but
yeah, he's on the Warriors.
They don't have him on their depth chart, so he must not have actually signed yet.
Really? They don't have him on there?
Mm-mm. Is he on their team?
No,
he's on their roster, but he's not on their depth chart. Because they have...
Are you looking at ESPN or what?
Yeah, dude, they have Draymond Green listed as their 4th point guard. That's a little bit sus, if you ask me. That doesn't make any sense. And
yeah, I don't.
Damian Lee is their 5th? Huh? Come on, let's see. Denver Nuggets. Who is this guy? Facundo Campazzo?
Never heard of him.
Just got drafted this year from Argentina. Congrats to him. Oh, let's see. Let's look at some.
I want to talk about with baseball quick.
Oh, baseball? Oh, yeah.
They came with the all MLB teams today.
Oh, yeah. I got to look at those. I didn't actually see them. I heard about it, but I got to look at them.
Devin Williams made all MLB 2nd team.
You know, I'm okay with that. He should have made 1st team, but, you know, I'll take it because the Brewers don't ever get anything.
Hey, speaking of which, you said the Brewers don't get anything. Did you hear who they're one of the teams that are linked to Jock Peterson right now?
Really?
Yep, them, the Cardinals, and the White Sox.
Dude, if they could get that, that's way better than what's his nuts, Luke Miley or whatever that catcher's name is that they signed. Come on.
Where does Jock Peterson fit in out in the line? Like, is he
left field? He's gonna take over where Braun was.
But that's where Yelich is playing. They moved Yelich to left field.
Right field.
That's where Avi plays.
Bench him. No, first base. He can play first. We don't have a first baseman.
And Vogelbach.
DH, bro.
They already told teams to prepare for not having a DH this coming season.
I think Jock can also play 3rd, if I remember correctly.
Oh, we ain't got a 3rd baseman, so.
Yeah. Let me double check that. I'm not 100% sure on that. But also, okay. I think I understand why this might work. Hold on. I just thought of something interesting.
What's that?
Hold on, I gotta see what we got going on here. Okay, so he definitely can't play 3rd. But if my mind serves me correct, yep. So he could platoon with Avi because let's be honest, Avi's season last year was not as great as it should have been.
Yeah, everybody on the team's season was.
So since Jock bats lefty righty matchup, throw Jock in there. Righty lefty matchup, throw Avi in there. So
I just don't like the way that the Brewers team is constructed.
No. I think, I'm going to be honest, I think Avi's probably a little bit overpaid. Dude's not very good. Dude's making 10 mil this year. Definitely not worth it.
I just hope because there's that thing that came out today about the Indians are going to be listening. Like, they obviously it seems like Cleveland doesn't want Francisco Lindor anymore. They want.
Yeah, they've been trying to do everything they can to get rid of him.
If somehow he ends up on the Los Angeles Dodgers, I don't know if I'll be able to watch baseball.
Yeah, I don't know what I would even consider remotely thinking.
I still am baffled by the fact that the Boston Red Sox traded Mookie Betts to the Los Angeles Dodgers for basically, I understand they got Alex Verdugo, but still, he's the 2018 American League MVP. Yep. And you traded him for basically nothing.
Dude, and what I hate about them getting Mookie Betts is Mookie Betts can also play infield. So their team is so versatile because they have Cody Bellinger who could play outfield and first base. I'm pretty sure Mookie plays second base as his other position. And then Max Muncy can play all outfield, first base, second base, and I think he plays third base. Hate the guy, by the way. KK Hernandez plays all infield, all outfield. It's like, my goodness.
And you also have Corey Seager.
Corey
You
Seager.
have Justin Turner. You have Will Smith. And then, what is it? Is it Austin Barnes? Is there?
Yeah. Because he could play catcher and second base, too.
And also, the Dodgers are being linked to Liam Hendricks.
I'm okay with that. He's not.
They don't need another closing pitcher that's gonna eat up in middle of the inning. Like,
no, you know what's gonna be the worst is if DJ LeMahieu goes to the freaking Dodgers. If DJ LeMahieu goes to the Dodgers, we might as well just freaking fall on the ground and just not even try to play anymore because that dude is amazing.
He's gonna stay with the Yankees.
Yeah, if he doesn't stay at the Yankees, he better not go to the freaking Dodgers, dude.
If you're Trevor Bauer, do you look at Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah, I saw something today. I think it was the Yankees were looking at him. If the Brewers get him, for the love of God, don't play him in the outfield. Please, just don't. Dude's terrible.
He got a good arm.
Yeah, but he's bad at fielding. He's lazy.
Well, where would you first base?
Yeah, yes. Platoon him with Jock. Or not Jock. Vogelbach.
Is Schwarber a lefty?
I think he is a lefty, but still.
Hard to platoon unless he...
Vogelbach can't play every game, though. Dude's big. Dude needs to sit a little bit.
Dude, that dude got swag. What are you talking about?
He does have swag. No, he gets. I don't know. Vogelbach will be fine, but like I don't know. I'm just saying, like when it comes to like someone like Vogelbach, like I feel like he slumps really quick. If he starts to slump, he slumps for a while.
So he's kind of that when you say that in like the terms of like that, I get Orlando Arcia.
Well, and dude, Kyle Schwarber had a 188 batting average season last season. I don't want that on the team. That's basically like what we got with oh my gosh, everyone, yeah. It's terrible.
I mean, Dan Vogelbach was basically when him and Orlando Arcia and Luis Urias were basically the ones that, came through when we needed them.
Fun fact, top 5 batters on the team last year were in this order, based off batting average. Arcia, Jerko, Urias, Garcia, and Gamel.
Oh, we didn't bring back Jerko, did we?
I don't think he's signed anywhere else yet. So they could still bring him back.
I wouldn't mind bringing him back. Dude
was a beast.
Fit well with the team. You know what the Brewers needed to do this offseason that they didn't do?
What's that?
Let me figure out his name here quick. It is Andy Haynes.
Oh,
needed to get fired. They needed to fire him.
They need to fire Andy Haynes. They also need to fire pitching coach. What's their name? Chris Hook? Is that dude's name?
I don't really know. I don't think
Gone.
Chris needs to go.
Gone. He did nothing to help Devin Williams. All he did was make Josh Hader worse. Gone.
He didn't do anything to help Devin Williams. He won reliever of the year. That's 3 years in a row we've had a reliever win reliever of the year.
Devin Williams did that all himself.
Yeah, with his little...
Dude, if he did helping, Josh Hader wouldn't be worse than he is.
Yeah, but he's not the bullpen coach.
Well, Devin Williams
I don't know how that all works in terms of like hitting coach and a bullpen coach in terms of baseball. I guess I'd have to.
Josh Hader slumped the last season too. Oh, that's so hard to look at. That 3.79 ERA. Ugh. 13 saves. Dude, at 37 the year before.
You also got to realize they played 60 games.
Yeah. But, like, he gave up 3 home runs in 21 games, 10 walks.
Not bad. 3 home runs in 21 games?
Well, and then last year he gave up 15.
Well, yeah, last year was a different story. Last year, I don't know what he was on. I think he relied way too much on his fastball.
Oh, that's what he's doing.
Not this last year, but the year before. He threw in a lot of. He threw in like, was it his slider?
Yeah, he did throw a lot of, but they're lucky he's on arbitration, because if he's not, they would be screwed.
There was talks that they were going to see what they could get for him, because his arbitration. Everybody's thinking his arbitration is going to go way up higher.
Wait, when did the Brewers sign Billy McKinney? That's an absolute W snag. Oh my goodness.
What?
The Brewers signed Billy McKinney. That's actually a W. I didn't know they did that. Billy McKinney played for the Blue Jays. He's actually a decent hitter. Like, he only played a few games last season, literally 2 games. But the 2 games he played, he went 2 for 3. So the year before that, he batted 215. Then he batted 252 the year before that. But, like, I don't know. Man, that's nice. Another outfielder to add to the mix. Oh my gosh.
I think the Brewers have enough outfield help or depth. They don't need any more.
So let's see. Everyone that's listed as number 0. So Mario Feliciano.
Pitcher.
They added Dylan File, Alec Bettinger, and Feliciano. Feliciano was in their minors, so they've had him.
That's Mario Feliciano, right?
Yeah. I don't know who Alec Bettinger is. I'm gonna guess he was in their minors as well. Yes, he was. 2017 draft pick. And Dylan File, I've never heard of him. Oh, another draft pick, 2017 as well. Okay. So those guys are on the 40-man right now. But I'm seeing here literally the exact same roster as last season. And then they added Luke Miley.
I'm actually really hopeful for, like, obviously not this year or anything like that, but in a few years, Ethan Small.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm really excited for Ethan Small. I'm also excited for the Brewers to take Eric Lauer and send him on a bus far, far away from their team.
Brett Anderson can get on that bus too.
Yeah, Eric Lauer, Brett Anderson, they gotta go. Eric Lauer had a 13.09 ERA this season. Claps all around to you, buddy. You played great.
Yeah, Padres definitely won that trade. I mean,
yes, they did. Although they got a guy that can't field.
What do you mean? Who?
Well, okay, the year before, Trent Grisham's wild card error.
I was gonna say he just won Gold Glove for the center fielders this year.
Yeah, which I think is a little bit rigged, but.
And Zach Davies actually pitched really, really well. What did he have? Let's see here. Last year he had a 2.73 ERA, 7-4 record.
Man, Brett Anderson actually wasn't the worst starting pitcher. What? Wow, unbelievable that's Hauser. Never would have thought. I thought it would have been.
Yeah, Adrian Hauser started off so good.
Thought it would have been Lindblom. Lindblom was horrible, but he wasn't as bad as Hauser.
Another terrible contract.
They only had 2 positive pitchers last year. Brett Anderson actually had a positive record. Wow. And Corbin Burns. But Corbin Burns didn't really start that much. Well, he started 9 games. I guess it's actually quite a bit.
Yeah, Corbin Burns, if he needed one more third of an inning. He needed one more third of an inning to get in contention for Cy Young.
What's his name? Brent Suter started 4. He didn't do too bad, honestly. 2-0 record, a 3.13 ERA. I mean, it's not sub 3, but I'll take a 3.13. That's actually not very bad for Brent Suter.
That if you have a 3.13 ERA, that in terms of today's pitching,
that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Woodruff had a 3.05, but he had a 3-5 record, so that's where his loss goes. But, I mean, Woodruff
it seemed like a lot of times they couldn't hit when – well, obviously they couldn't hit in general, but, when Woodruff was on the mound, they weren't able to produce anything for him.
What makes me a little bit sad is Freddie Peralta. Dude had 47 strikeouts, but he also had 12 walks and a 3.9 ERA. If he would have got those walks down, his ERA would have been so much lower, and he would have been so much more efficient of a pitcher.
I don't know if I want him in the starting rotation or if I like
Peralta.
Him better. Yeah.
No, I don't.
If I like
he needs to be. What they need to run is they need to run a Brent Suter, Freddie Peralta tandem type thing. Mm-hmm. They need to have so they need their 5 starters. They need to have 5 actual starters this year, and then have like 6 or 7 relief guys, because they got to have Freddie Peralta and Brent Suter, and then I don't know, maybe throw in Rasmussen. Rasmussen had a 5.87 ERA, but
No, I like Justin Topa. Or Topa.
Yeah, Topa actually. Never mind. Let's try it. Topa actually did come back the end of the season,
and he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he started off pretty bad, but he came back
against the Dodgers. He looked halfway decent.
Yeah, but Justin Grimm's got to go. Bobby Wall's got to go. Phil Bickford's got to stay down in the minor leagues. Eric Lauer's got to go. Glad Corey Knable's gone. Rasmussen can use some more time in the minors. Claudio's got to go. Hader's got to work on that fastball. Lindblom's got to go. Hauser's got to be a reliever again. They got a lot they got to move around.
See, I don't understand the Luke Male signing.
It's stupid. He's terrible.
Because they have Jacob Nottingham is, I think, out of options. David Freitas is out of options. You have Omar Narvaez. You have Manny Pena. It makes zero sense. Unless they're trying to unload Omar Narvaez and they know that was a mistake of a trade.
I hope that's not the case, because they got someone worse out of this then.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see. I can't wait to see what this team's going to look like on opening day.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. All I can say is that if Eric Lauer is on the team opening day, don't know if I want to watch the game. But who do you think they start opening day next season? You think they go Woody again?
Brandon Woodruff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's still earned that spot as opening day starter?
Oh, yeah, of course.
That is unless they go out and they grab Mr. Trevor Bauer, but doubtful on that one.
You want to be very interesting?
If they sign literally anybody of name?
Well, no, if Trevor Bauer would sign with the Astros, because he said he would listen to all teams, including Houston, for all the like everything that he has come out publicly and said about the Astros. It would be something if he actually went and signed with them.
Dude, this website I'm looking at, they do Daniel Vogelbach so dirty. They have him projected a 215 batting average next season. He hit a 328 with the Brewers.
Well, you also got to look at
Dude's a stud.
You got to look at his batting average before he came.
Yeah, dude, with Seattle, he hit a 094. Bad. And a 0 with the Blue Jays.
I mean, I'd rather have Daniel Vogelbach over Justin Smoke. So.
Oh, 100%, dude. I said from the beginning when we had Justin Smoke on the team that was the worst possible person that they could have grabbed.
And maybe they can go out there and get your boy back.
Eric Thames, they might as well at this point. Either that or trade for Travis Shaw back, because even Travis Shaw had a good season last year, believe it or not.
Because Eric Thames is a free agent right now, actually.
Yes, he is. But he was a free agent last year, and they did not even attempt to bring him in, which is unfortunate.
Bring everybody back that was on that 2018 team.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I got nothing anymore.
Yeah, that's all I've got. This podcast went a little bit longer than I thought it did, so I don't know.
I just realized it's 9:00. Holy crap!
Yeah, same. So we're gonna end her off here. I'm gonna start editing this like right now. I'm not gonna edit any of this. I'm literally just gonna put it all together, and we're just gonna throw it in because it's 9:00. So,
hey, sounds good to me.
But yeah, thank you again for joining me in this podcast. We got a lot of interesting information out here. I know normally we talk about football, but hey, it is 3-sport podcast for a reason. We do talk about other sports. So I'm glad we're able to get some new mix in here with baseball and basketball.
Next week should be fun. We get to talk some preseason basketball, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, maybe I had this thought in my head that maybe we could spice things up a little bit. Maybe we could do podcasts like maybe twice a week now, since there's basketball on. Everyone listening to this or on YouTube or wherever, because there's no video. The video is just going to be the Zoom screen. But anyone listening to the podcast right now on whatever platform you're listening to it on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you're on, it does. I do think that we're gonna start a second time podcast. So it makes it a little bit easier for us, so we don't have to cram so much information into one day. Like now, with it being the end of the football season, MLB off season, and NBA's starting back up. So there's a lot to unpack here, lots of important details, and takes a bit of time. So that's all I got.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add either. It surprisingly went longer than we both expected because we didn't have any. We didn't have any material like we had normally had in
No,
the past to go off of. We just
yeah, not gonna lie, we kind of wung it, guys.
yeah.
So if this kind of seemed a little bit weird to you, it's because we kind of wung this one. We didn't really have a layout for this one. I do apologize in advance, but I feel like it went pretty well regardless. So anyways, thank you, Austin, for being out here today. Really do appreciate it.
No problem. And
As
like we said
always.
last week, if anybody does have any suggestions for us, feel free to leave us a message and we'll talk about anything. So,
Oh yeah, we didn't get any of those. Yeah, if you guys have anything, comments, questions, concerns, trade thoughts, signing thoughts, NFL playoff thoughts, college football, anything, literally anything. You saw someone walk an old lady across the road today. Anything. If you want us to talk about anything, bring up anything, let us know. As long as it's PG, because there's only certain things that we can say on YouTube. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning into 3 Smart Podcast today. I'm signing out. See you later.